are at a crossroads. When we imagine AI taking over the future, we think of this. We think of robots. However, it's not this. It's this.
Google has announced another
It is
round of
replacing
layoffs.
jobs.
Half of all global jobs could be affected by artificial intelligence.
Announcing that it cut almost 700 jobs.
There's no question artificial intelligence will remake the workplace.
So what is AI exactly? It's a very vague topic, but to put it simply, AI is technology that lets computers simulate human intelligence and problem solving. The difference from what we think robots are is that AI learns, while autonomous programs cannot. Since we now know what AI is, let's talk to a few people and see what they have to say about it. The first person we sat down with was Nolan Brechtel, a good friend of mine. We went to the same high school and we both did Vex Robotics. His major is computer engineering and his specialization in AI, so let's see what he has to say about it. What jobs do you think are safe from AI?
I think the jobs that require that human touch, like educators and people in the HR department of businesses.
How do you think AI will impact the workforce?
I think it will help cut unskilled labor and improve the lives of skilled labor.
Do you think that AI in the long term will be more beneficial and outweigh the negatives of its impact on the workforce?
I think in the future it will improve the quality of lives of people similar to how computers do now. I think there will be a loss of jobs temporarily, but I think overall it will have a positive impact on people's lives.
Do you use AI as a student?
I don't think the honor code allows me to say that.
After that, to say the least, interesting interview with my friend Nolan, we decided to get some other perspectives on the issue. So let's look at that. This is Annalise, majoring in electrical engineering.
Yeah, so I've taken some classes in AI, so I've gotten to study it a little bit, and it definitely is having a big effect already, like in electrical engineering. We do a lot of stuff with programming, and so I know it's taking a lot of the workload off of people like having to manually program stuff, and it's doing a lot of the work for us, which makes things a lot easier in some ways. But I think it's also making me don't think as much. I'm trying to think. I think it definitely helps in the design processes, also speeding things up. But I know that there can, I don't know, some people have issues with like reliability of AI and don't trust it to design like systems because, you know, we're not quite sure yet. It hasn't been long enough to see if it's really reliable. But I think it definitely, if it becomes to a point where people can rely on it, it will have a big impact in helping speed up design processes.
This is Isabel, majoring in early childhood psychology.
You can ask like what are some methods you can use for play therapy or maybe just use multiple resources. There's something called CEUs, it's like continuing education that we have to do, so maybe lead to some stuff like that.
This is Craig, and he's a comp sci major. How do you think AI will impact your major?
In that it's the primary thing people in my major do at this university. Picked a good example. Obviously there's a lot of research focus, emphasis in my field. Also a ton of questions about like using generative AI to help you code or those sorts of things. Those are probably some of the main ones from like an academic perspective.
This is Melissa, and she's an English education major.
So for my major, because I am English ed, there's obviously a lot of cons, but there also are some pros that we found. Obviously the cons are, dear God, will students stop making stuff with AI? It's not good. It'll probably get better in the future, unfortunately, because like the whole point of English is to teach you how to do this. If you're doing it with AI, you're not learning anything. It's horrible. It's very horrible. Like, students keep using AI for stuff, it's just really bad. But then we also have some pros that we found, namely in helping teachers think of ideas for assignments, things like that. Like, you can use it to help generate like questions for like, say for example, you were asking questions about themes in certain work. It could help you think of ideas for questions, because we're not all gonna be able to think up 5,000 questions off the top of our head, unfortunately. But it's got its pros and cons. But I don't think the pros outweigh the cons personally. It's also sometimes useful with like the picture generative AI for like, creating resources to go on assignments, because teachers don't get paid. Like, as much as I would actively prefer to like commission artists and stuff for this, I'm going into college for a degree I'm going to make almost no money off of. Like, I can't afford that. But like I said, it's got its pros and cons. Obviously, the cons are really severe, like she was using AI to write essays and things like that. But I do appreciate the way it can be beneficial to us.
We heard a few differing opinions there, however, everyone's entitled to one. But let's sum this all up. The big question of this presentation is, what jobs will AI replace? And to put it frankly, I don't know. But with the research I've conducted, I think we can group jobs that are safe from AI in 3 different categories. The first category is creativity. That means if you ever have to invent or come up with new solutions at your job. Some examples being engineering, marketing, and fashion. The second category is social interaction. Any job that employs you to talk to other people. Some examples might be teachers, yes you, Professor Lofton, lawyers, and nurses. The last category being blue-collar jobs. This is, until we have androids, things like construction, warehousing, and farming. So, is AI worth it? The answer is yes. Think how much faster and cheaper everything will be, from your taxes to research at universities, from transportation to everyday manufactured products. We didn't stop calculators because it would take mathematicians' jobs. So, support AI. Thank you very much.